Okay, I am going to share my screen now so you can see my Women's Day presentation. Can everybody see my screen? Please let me know in the chat box so I can continue speaking. Okay, perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Falak. I am a nutritionist and cosmetologist, and I'm here to help you understand common problems in women's health these days. And we are going to discuss how we are going to treat them, prevent them, and I'll give you some tips on how to deal with them with diet. Just a little background information about me. My name is Falak, as I said already, and I study in a university in Toronto, Canada, and all the time at Derma Design and Diet Design, where we do procedures like HIFO, MNRF, um, body toning, whitening without invasive procedures. And to contact me or my I'm going to continue talking about where I work and what I do. At Derma Design, we do peels, hypho, laser hair removal, everything that involves skin, hair, and nails, for that matter. We do everything. And then there's diet design, where we give you tailored diet plans according to your needs and also help you achieve your dream body. Okay, enough about me. I'm going to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss common conditions like PCOD, PCOS. What is the difference between the two? We're also going to talk about premature aging, why that happens, bone loss because that is very common in males, um, and we're also going to talk about um, two other conditions. I'll get to it when I get to it. And then we'll discuss causes, prevention, treatment, and SMART goals to deal with each of these problems. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals that you set to do achieve a specific goal. Like if you want to lose weight, for example, your goal is to lose weight, so that is like the specification. What are you going to do to make sure you lose weight? That is going to be the S part of SMART. It has to be a measurable quantity. For example, if you're trying to lose waist circumference, if you're trying to lose your abdominal circumference, we're going to aim for, let's say, 2 centimeters in a couple of months. That is the M part of SMART. We're also going to make it achievable, something realistic. We're not going to try to aim for the moon, and we're going to make sure everything that we are planning, the specification that we have here, it is relevant to our final goal. And also we'll put a timer on it because we need to see results, right? Discuss smart goals for all of the conditions that we'll talk about. And these days, PCOD, PCOS, infertility, period cramps, aging, bone loss. No, period. Although I know period cramps is not a condition, I just know it's something that most women go through these days, and it's crazy. It's very painful, and I want you to understand why it happens and how you can deal with it on a biological level, like without using heat pads or just having dark chocolate. We'll understand why it actually happens and what are the ways to prevent severe cramps. I mean, it's obviously impossible to eliminate it altogether, but we can obviously do something to prevent the severity of it. We'll talk about premature aging and also bone loss. Okay, the first thing, like we are going to talk about what is the difference between PCOD and PCOS. Is anybody here like familiar with the concept of inflammation? Please let me know in the chat box. I would appreciate if you're interacting with me. Okay, so PCOD and basically the same thing, but they're different severity levels. Now, PCOD is like the beginning of um, infertility or severe, like worse conditions like that. For PCOD, for example, is caused by inflammation in your ovaries or in your uterus. And inflammation is um, swelling that you like for the swelling that you see on your face, for example, or in your hands or in your feet when you're traveling. When this inflammation happens on your internal organs, it leads to other problems such as PCOD. That is one of the reasons why PCOD or PCOS happens in a lot of people, and it leads to ovaries producing immature eggs that are not ready for fertilization. They get released from the ovaries and move into the fallopian tube, and which is why a lot of people have difficulty conceiving because the eggs are not ready. And when these eggs are not fertilized and they are not moving down the uterus the way they're supposed to, they stick to the fallopian tubes or your ovarian walls and form cysts. Now these cysts can vary anything between like this tiny to up to like 7-8 centimeters. It can be a very big cyst, and the larger the cyst is, the harder it is to get it out of your body. And that that leads to infertility because your ovaries are not capable of producing mature eggs after that. And PCOS is just PCOD enhanced. This is where ovaries are producing androgens. Androgens are male hormones such as testosterone. And when these are higher than what they're supposed to be in a female body, you start seeing male characteristics such as beard, like chin hair, chest hair, thicker mustache, even hair loss for that matter. You also see acne, a lot of weight gain. Weight gain is very common in people with PCOD or PCOS. You're going to see a lot of abdominal fat or fat in the hip region when you have PCOS. Okay, a lot of things are cause PCOD or PCOS, such as your activity levels, like your lifestyle factors, what you eat, what you do for a living. If you have, let's say, a desk job, you're not moving more than 1,000 steps a day. that is going to be one of the major reasons why PCOS, PCOD happens. Another reason could be insulin resistance. Insulin is the hormone that um, regulates your sugar consumption. Basically, it digests the sugar that you consume. And when your body becomes insensitive to insulin, like your body is producing insulin, but it is not able to use that insulin to digest the sugar that you're consuming, it can lead to excess male hormone production, which is causing PCOS, as we discussed. So, insulin resistance is also a major reason why diabetes happens. And other conditions like cardiovascular problems or kidney problems. Insulin is um, a hormone that regulates a body, and when your body becomes insensitized to insulin, it cannot regulate um, other systems, such as your urinary system, for example. Um, Other pre-existing conditions like or your lung problems can also lead to PCOS. So it is important you make sure your body is functioning right in all aspects. So it is advisable you get your full body checkup done frequently. External factors such as pollution. Now, this is something that I want to go in a little depth with. Are you familiar with the concept of ions, like free radicals? Um, you must have studied this in like eighth grade, ninth grade chemistry. When electrons, when atoms lose or gain electrons, and they cannot complete their octet, their outermost, eh, what do you call it? Yes, they are very unstable. And when, yes, orbit. So, what I'm trying to say here is when yes, when you're exposing your body to pollution or harmful carcinogens, they produce free radicals in your body, and these free radicals travel freely in your blood. They just go around your body and get settled in one part of the body, and they multiply because they are so unstable. They borrow or give electrons to atoms around them, making all of the cells around this free radical unstable, causing um, instability. And this can also lead to cancer, by the way, which is why it is so important to expose yourself less to pollution, UV rays, junk food. When you eat food that is difficult to digest, your body struggles to digest, your body automatically produces free radicals. So if you cannot avoid exposing yourself to such external factors, at least make sure you're consuming enough antioxidants, because what they do is they get oxidized themselves, they expose themselves to these pollutants, and um, turn into free radicals and basically die. And in that process, they prevent your cells, your body from doing the same thing. And now this might come as a surprise, but contraceptives can also be a reason why PCOS or PCOD happens, because contraceptives are basically hormones. And when you're, let's say, missing a period, and you're or you have irregular periods, you cannot predict when your next period is going to be, and your gynecologist suggests you take contraceptives because they induce female hormones that makes your period um, uh, like take place like right after you take the medication, right? It is like you're forcing your body to do something that it is not ready to do, which is why taking artificial hormones can make your body dependent on it. Like to get your period, the you will have to depend, you will have to make sure that you take contraceptives each time. So in the long run, you might not predict this, but contraceptives can actually be a reason why you get PCOD or PCOS. How can you? So there is no treatment for PCOD or PCOS. All you can do is prevent it. And one of this my um, forte dietary changes. You all you can do to make sure that your body is not consuming foods that it is digest. You're going to add high fiber foods like vegetable, beans, oats to improve insulin sensitivity, because these foods have a low glycemic index, which means it is not going to give you a blood sugar spike. And when it's not giving you a blood sugar spike, it's preparing your body to use the insulin that it has without any load on the amount of insulin that you have. I'm sorry, I'm fasting. Um, you can also include anti-inflammatory foods such as fatty fish, nuts, and turmeric to reduce inflammation on your and to lessen the processed foods, refined sugars because these cause sugar spike, and trans fats that worsen insulin resistance and now the second thing you can do to prevent or somewhat treat is medical management treatments. Now, the reason why I've included oral contraceptives here is because even though it is harmful in the long run, you can still consume oral contraceptives to regulate your periods when you've just diagnosed yourself with PCOD or PCOS. So once you get like the hang of it, like your periods come, take the decided um, your menstrual cycles come down to like a 28-day cycle, you I suggest you stop taking oral contraceptives and focus more on the diet and the physical activity part. We'll come to that. And for metformin and letrozole, you make sure you talk to a doctor, somebody who is qualified to tell you how much or what medication you're supposed to take based on how. Now, third, exercise and physical activity. Strength training and aerobics improve insulin sensitivity and aid in weight management. Um, the reason why this happens is because when you exercise, you just engage in some amount of strength training or aerobic exercises, you're making sure that your body gets enough oxygen, your body gets enough circulation. And when these things happen, your body gets enough blood, enough nutrition to deal with other problems on an internal level. Like body is it has a mind of its own. It's very clever. It knows how to deal with any conditions that you have. You just have to make sure you're giving it the means to do it. And that is what exercise and exercises do. Alternative therapies are basically anything that you do out of your way, out of the regular food that you eat or exercise, that is aiming to treat without medication the problems that you're facing. Now, alternative therapies can be any peppermint tea or spearmint tea or basically like turmeric ginger concoction. These things have anti-inflammatory properties, which leads to um, less inflammation in your ovaries. And when you reduce the inflammation, your PCOS and PCOD comes under control. And this is like a personal recommendation from me. Use ginger, cumin, and fennel seeds. Boil it for like 10 to 15 minutes. Top it with honey, lemon, turmeric, and mint. This is like um, a master drink. Have this 3 times for a week for like 3 months and see the change in your health, your periods, and even on your skin. Your skin's going to glow. Okay. And this is very important. A lot of people don't take this seriously, and they think this is just them talking to their sister or their mom is going to help them with like emotional and mental health support. But I think you have to go a little out of your way to connect with people who actually have the same problems, the same conditions. Connect with people who have PCOD, PCOS. They are going through the same challenges that you are, and they're going to relate to you. You're going to relate to them on a level that is going to actually support your mental health. And you're going to find communities, groups on Facebook, Reddit, and even Pinterest for that matter. You're going to find people who are going to support groups. They know techniques, they know ways how to deal with daily life problems, the same problems that you're going through. And it is so important to talk about them. It's so important to make sure that you are happy, you're feeling understood. Control stress. Stress is the problem for everything. And when you go out, meet new people with like the same emotional challenges, your stress levels go down. And coming to SMART goal, as we discussed earlier, we're going to make sure we have a specific way to deal with the condition that is also measurable and relevant within a certain amount of time. And it is going to be realistic. If you want, you can take a screenshot, you can take a photo of what's on the slide right now. And I'm just going to explain this briefly so you can understand what you're doing better. So, the goal here is adopt a low glycemic index diet. Like I said earlier, low glycemic index is any food that is measured on this scale. It Low glycemic index, like foods that range from 1 to 3 on a scale of 10, they are not going to give you a blood sugar spike, which means it is not going to put a load on the amount of insulin that your body is producing. And it'll be easier for your body to digest this without producing free radicals. Okay, and some examples of low glycemic index foods are whole grains, lean protein like eggs, fish, lean chicken, and veggies. And make sure for the next 3 months while you're doing this, you check your waist circumference. Now, the reason why I say waist circumference instead of BMI is because BMI could be the same for a very fat individual and a very healthy muscular individual. Fat is so bulky and has less protein compared to protein on the other hand is like very heavy and compact. So even though a person is like very skinny and lean and muscular, they could have the same BMI as somebody who is very fat, has a lot of abdominal fat. And this BMI is not the best way to measure how healthy you are basically. So we're going to look at waist circumference for 12 weeks through diet and exercise and see if we are able to achieve um, reduction in the waist circumference by 2 centimeters. And if we are unable to do that, we are going to increase the intensity of how much you're exercising or other modifications like that. Okay, and commit to 30 minutes of exercise, moderate intensity exercise like yoga or walking 5 days a week, or you can indulge in any kind of workout, any kind of physical activity that you enjoy. It could be badminton, it could be swimming, just anything that gets your body moving. And this is relevant how? Because it supports your hormonal balance, like we discussed earlier. It supports weight management because weight gain is a common problem with PCOD and PCOS. And it also relieves symptoms. One of the symptoms being period cramps. We'll get to that. Okay. Then um, it is it is unavoidable, unfortunately, and it is caused by the increased production of this hormone called prostaglandin, which is the only purpose of this hormone in your body is to trigger pain, to cause inflammation, and abnormal uterine muscle contractions. It is only there to alert you that you have got your period. And it period cramps can be bad because of PCOS, PCOD, because when there's a hormonal imbalance, your body does not know how much prostaglandin to produce, and it ends up producing more of it. And it is also caused by poor circulation, because your body is not getting enough nutrients, enough oxygen, enough blood. And when you exercise more, when you indulge in physical activity, your blood circulation is improved, which leads less painful period cramps. And here is a smart goal. We are not going to talk about prevention or treatment because there is no treatment for period cramps. The only reason why I'm talking about it is because so many women go through it on a very severe level. Okay, smart goals here for dealing with period cramps is perform light exercises for to 20 minutes. You don't have to go crazy with the but make sure you're doing it on like at least your the first or the second day. I know most people just want to stay in their bed, they don't want to get out of their bed and use periods as an excuse to not do work. But or even if it's not an excuse, even if you genuinely cannot, still try to at least perform light yoga or some stretches, because it improves blood circulation. It is going to help you out whether you like it or not. Pull yourself out of the bed, do some stretches, make sure your body is getting a good amount of blood. Each and every cell needs it. Next, we're going to consume magnesium rich foods, because magnesium controls prostaglandin production, which is also why dark chocolate is advisable when you get your periods, because dark chocolate is rich in magnesium. You can also have bananas, you can have nuts, you can have nuts and seeds, um, and try to do that. Like with go crazy with chocolate, just try to limit it to the week of menstruation. Don't um, have it throughout the month. Your week of menstruation can be your cheat week, basically. Okay, and we will also replace caffeinated beverages with herbal teas, because caffeine can also dehydrate your body and increase prostaglandin production. And you can also have chamomile tea if you have if you get very restless, uneasy when you get your periods. Chamomile tea is amazing for that. And again, let's monitor our um, pain intensities and your menstrual cycles for like 3 months. And if it's still not under control, if it is still giving you a major problem, try talking to a gynecologist. Okay, discuss is bone loss. Bone loss is very common in women, especially around the age of 35 to 55, because of menopause. Disruptions in absorption of nutrients. It prevents calcium and vitamin D absorption in the gut, causing your bones to release calcium from the bones into the blood to make sure that your cells receive enough calcium for other processes, because your bone is basically like a reservoir. And this leads to painful, brittle bones and increases the possibility of fractures and causes problems such as osteopenia and osteoporosis. Osteopenia is basically low density bones, low calcium density bones, and osteoporosis is when your bones have started forming like little gaps inside like the porous region, um, due to lack of calcium in your body. The ways you can, and irrespective of whether you're going through menopause or not, it is important that you get this checked at least like once in a while. Go get yourself a DEXA test. It's a low dose X-ray scan that just tells you whether you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, and just like be on the safer side. And if needed, if you feel pain in your bones, um, if you're experiencing fractures frequently, just like because of the stress, like mechanical stress, you might have osteoporosis or osteopenia. You might want to go and get that checked out. Okay. Um, like I said, the reason why menopause causes this is because of hormonal imbalance, absorption. So to make sure that that does not happen post menopause, what you can do is hormone replacement therapy. This is going to be directed by a doctor, so you'll have to actually go see an orthopedic for this. A hormone replacement therapy is estrogen level in your body and makes sure that progesterone levels are like balanced. Besides this, you can again, this is repetitive. It just stimulate bone formation. It osteoblast cells in your body. Your If you're exercising, your these osteoblast cells, they get alerted that they need to go to the bones and they need to form more osteoclast, more bone forming cells. Besides this, you can also consume a good amount of calcium in your diet. And although there are not a lot of vitamin D sources, you can obviously consume supplements. Also, avoid smoking excessive, because again, smoking and alcohol hinders absorption and weakens bones. Lifestyle modifications are necessary for every condition out there, whether it be a heart problem, whether it be a lung problem. You need to living a good life if you want to live. Okay, I'm just going to go over a few sources of vitamin D and calcium because it's important for you to understand. Now, kale and spinach and bok choy are some exceptions that have a small amount of phytates and oxalates, but other leafy green vegetables, they have this bonds called phytates and oxalates, which bind with calcium atoms food, and they prevent absorption. That calcium, it forms basically calcium soaps in your gut that gets excreted in your poop. It does not get absorbed in your body. So try not having green leafy vegetables with dairy at the same time. Even fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, they are high in calcium. Egg yolks have some amount of vitamin D, and this might come as a surprise, but you don't really need to consume vitamin D, because there is this cholesterol, a kind of cholesterol that is present in your skin, when exposed to sunlight produces this compound, which then travels to your liver and then to your kidney and produces active vitamin D, calciferol. And this vitamin D is enough for your body. You do not need to consume vitamin D externally. But the problem here is because we are blessed with brown skin or black skin, some people have, we have a crazy amount of melanin. Melanin is the pigment that is produced in your skin that prevents harmful UV rays from entering your skin. Although this is helpful to prevent skin cancer, it can also increase the amount of time you need to spend in the sun to make sure you produce the same amount of vitamin D as a Caucasian person will in like 6 minutes. You have to be in the sun for like 36 minutes more than a white person. So for us, because we don't actively spend that much time in the sun, most people don't at least, it is advisable that you include some vitamin D supplements or sources in your diet. And besides fish and eggs, you can also include nuts, because nuts have fat soluble vitamins in them, such as A, E, D, and K. And seeds like chia seeds and sesame seeds. Sesame seeds are an amazing source of calcium. Okay, moving on. Here's this smart goal for preventing and treating bone loss. If you're going osteoporosis, if you're experiencing pain in your bones, I suggest you start taking 1200 mg of calcium supplements and 800 IU of vitamin D. And if you're not consuming supplements, happy healthy life, that is the RDA, that is the recommended daily requirement that your body needs to function properly, because calcium is a macronutrient. You need to consume it in a good quantity, that is 1200 mg every single day. And you can do that by just having 2 servings of dairy, which is like 2 glasses of milk, more like one big glass of milk. And you can also consume fortified alternatives for vitamin D for 3 months and see, go get a blood test, see what's your blood report. You can also perform weight bearing exercises, include some brisk walking, resistance training a few times a week. And this, like I discussed earlier, this is going to help you increase your bone formation, your bone density, and it's going to be helpful to prevent osteoporosis or osteopenia in the long run. And because it because it's not skin, it's not hair, you're not going to see results right away. Get a bone density test done after 6 months, because that gives enough time for your bones to redevelop. It might be difficult for people of like but if you're young, you might not even need a bone test on your own. Next is premature aging. Um, these days, it's so common. People are using salicylic acid face wash. People are consuming collagen supplements. They're putting on collagen masks. Why are we doing this? Because we see sag, we're seeing hyperpigmentation, we're seeing patchiness, we're seeing acne. All of these things are a result of premature aging. Now, premature aging, the way it occurs is um, when you expose yourself to harmful pollutants, to junk food. I know everybody loves getting food delivery services, but unfortunately, when you order so much from outside, you're introducing harmful compounds in your body that is causing free radical production. And free radical production, all they do, if not cause cancer, that is like the extreme level, but it at least causes cell or protein degradation, collagen degradation, which causes your skin to sag, your hair to fall, your bones to become weaker. Who's going to think that? Nobody even like realizes that pollution could be making your bones weaker because it is causing collagen degradation. Okay, so some things that you're going to notice in premature aging is wrinkles, fine lines, sagging skin, and loss of elasticity due to collagen and elastin fibers being reduced. In muscles and tendons, after all, they are also proteins. Muscle strength and flexibility, and it causes decreased mobility, movement. The way you can prevent premature aging is by including collagen boosting foods like bone broth or foods, because vitamin C actually contributes in collagen production in the body. So when you include collagen boosting foods like vitamin C, like citrus fruits, leafy greens, eggs, what it increases collagen production. If you cannot stop yourself from exposing yourself to pollutants, to carcinogens, it is at least important you make sure what you're eating is healthy. Is basically an anti-aging superfood, super nutrient. Everything that has vitamin A in it, like mangoes or okay. Here's a tip: anything, any fruit or vegetable that is yellow, orange, or in it, like tomatoes or like pumpkin, pineapples, all of these things, they have a good amount of vitamin A in them. And vitamin A, beside and in like fruits and vegetables, it is present in carotenoids, and one retinol, which is a form of vitamin A, is produced with 6 units of carotenoids. So if you're consuming vitamin A through vegetarian sources, make sure you consume a lot of it. If not, try having fish. And for people who apply topical medication on their skin, such as like serums and moisturizers, you might be familiar with some active ingredients such as AHAs, BHAs, retinoids. Now, retinoid is a good ingredient because it is basically vitamin A, but it could be a little drying. But that aside, if you're exposing yourself to, let's say, AHAs and BHAs, these are acids that help in skin peeling, or taking, like, removing the top layer of your skin, dead skin basically. So it, even though it gives you like a nice glow, it gives you like a nice surface, it can also cause premature aging in the long run. That is a side effect. So when you're doing that, make sure you use retinoids and peptides and other collagen stimulating ingredients in your skincare routine, with your AHS and BHAs. If you cannot, you can also include supplements such as collagen tablets or powder that you can mix in water and have it. But I would still suggest you talk to a dietitian or a nutritionist before you do that, because some collagen supplements have, or some topical collagen applications like serums or your masks, they have such big molecules of collagen that cannot penetrate your skin or cannot be absorbed in your body. So I recommend, instead of using like a 75 rupee mask or a 125 rupee mask, maybe talk to your doctor, who might recommend a slightly more expensive collagen mask, but it'll probably you can also lifestyle choices such as how much alcohol you consume. Now, I know some people, they love to have alcohol like before going to sleep because it helps them sleep better. But instead of doing that, maybe switch to turmeric milk, because alcohol causes premature aging directly or indirectly. And smoking and exposing yourself to pollution like air pollution, noise pollution, everything, all kind of pollution. um, I know you're familiar with this because it is something that you learn in school. Make sure you avoid it as much as you can. And also try avoiding sun exposure, because even though we are blessed with melanin, it does not mean we exploit it, right? Okay, moving on. Here's a premature aging. As discussed earlier, we can include rich foods. What I used to do growing up is I used to have vitamin C rich foods like limes or oranges. Although it is not the best time to have fruits, I know, it is one way you can introduce fruits in your diet. Having desserts with fructose, which is natural sugar in fruits. So, in and the best time to have fruits is obviously the first half of the day, or at least like for your breakfast, because sorry. So that is the best time to have fruits, because that's when your digestive system is most hungry to absorb nutrients. So if you can include a vitamin C rich fruit at that time, well and good. If you cannot, at least try replace junk food or your um, vitamin C rich fruits like kiwis, pineapples, amla, Indian gooseberry. And you can also include collagen boosting proteins such as eggs and chicken, because collagen at the end of the day is also a protein. Um, you can also when you consume a good amount of collagen and vitamin C through your diet, you will also notice your skin elasticity being improved and your skin feeling hydrated, and water retention in your skin becomes better, and it gives you a nice pretty glow. You're going to enjoy looking at yourself. And like I said earlier, if you're going to use a topical way of like introducing collagen into your skin, try doing it with something that your dermatologist or your cosmetologist recommends, because we want smaller molecular size collagen, not the fat ones that cannot be penetrated. And this is going to help you address visible signs of aging like wrinkles and sagging skin. And you will, I am pretty sure you will see a difference in your skin quality and your bone health in just 3 months. Okay, moving on. Fertility is obviously less common than everything else that we have discussed so far, but it is on the rise as our lifestyles are being becoming more evolved. We are exposing ourselves to more problematic things, like I said, carcinogens or pollutants. Anything that is not good for your body, that is around you, whether you like it or not, it is going to affect you in some way. It is going to cause, it is going to in conditions like PCOS, and PCOS is going to disrupt your ovulation cycle, your menstrual cycle. It might increase your bone loss. It might increase your pain, cramps. It because it causes such hormonal imbalances. Infertility is kind of inevitable, whether you like get it at the age of 50 after menopause, or you start experiencing infertility signs um, very early on, like at the age of 30, 35. I know people who are 30 and they are having problems with conceiving. And the only way you can deal with infertility is by improving your lifestyle factor. Fertility after the age of 35 due to reduced egg quality and lifestyle factors like high stress levels, poor diet, nutrient deficiencies. Now, nutrient deficiencies are very common for women who are like 35 and above, because our gut is instead of being marinated, tailored. It is all modified food that we eat, such high fat, high sodium foods, high trans fats, not healthy what we eat outside. It is best to make good healthy food at home, because it prevents your gut from failing to absorb nutrients, and hence prevents nutrient deficiencies like iron, vitamin D, folate. Folate is the most important when it comes to conceiving and for your fetal health. And excessive alcohol consumption and smoking can also lead to infertility, and that is no surprise. And underlying conditions such as thyroid, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, different conditions, um, even like prior miscarriage, different kinds of things that people experience that it can also cause infertility. Discussed earlier, environmental factors such as exposure to pollutants and toxins can also affect reproductive health. Tools to deal with infertility are um, incorporate fertility boosting foods such as walnuts, spinach into daily meals. This is something that you can just Google, like, what are some fertility boosting foods, and it'll give you like a list of 500 things. Increase your folate and iron intake to 100% of daily recommended value within 8 weeks. Now, folate and iron go in hand. They help in each other's absorptions. Most processes that they're involved in also require each other. Like folate requires iron, iron requires folate, and it is important to make sure that you're consuming both of these nutrients as much as you're supposed to, because that supports your reproductive health. Consume a fertility focused smoothie, spinach and berries with like a little bit of flaxseed. Tastes amazing, also very healthy for you, 3 times a week. You can add bananas, you can add other kinds of nuts, you can also add like make a berry and avocado smoothie, whatever you like, anything that is like infertility boosting, just incorporate one of these things in your diet like at least 3 to 4 times a week, and it's going to do you very good. It is going to improve your ovulation and reproductive health. Oh, and one more thing, one more food that I know is like very good for your reproductive health is papayas. Papayas help you regulate your menstrual cycles and make sure that your uterus is healthy. Um, time Reassess your energy levels and your cycle regularity after 2 months, and if needed, you can also go see a gynecologist. Okay, here's a little. This is before um, any of the conditions that we discussed so far. This is a standard diet that you can follow to make you're meeting all your energy and your protein goals at least. For this, for people who have a busy lifestyle, this is for people who do not have the time to make or think about what to make now. It's a that you can use and take advantage of. Um, you can, if you it is not crazy. It does not involve a amount of shopping for nutrients, items that you cannot get commonly. It has things that are readily available. They're also around a good price range. You don't have to spend too much. It's a very standard, very basic diet. Achieve at least your energy requirements and your protein requirements. And if there's anything on this diet plan that you think is difficult to understand, please you can ask me in the chat box, and I'm willing to answer. Mm, any questions? Okay, moving on. This is the end. This is the end of my. You can find me at the diet design on Instagram, or the diet design at gmail.com, or the dietdesign.com, and you can scan that QR code for a special offer at my clinic, Diet Design or Derma Design. Thank you very much. Okay, if you have any questions, I'm still here for another few minutes and we can discuss. You can let me know in the chat box if there's anything else you want to know about. Okay, somebody here has asked me what are complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrate, my presentation. Carbohydrates as oats or bajra, javari, like these things are like whole grains. What I'm referring to, they are high in glycemic index carbohydrates that have a because they have such a high amount of fiber. It does not get digested in your small intestine, and it's a little complicated to digest. What I'm trying to say, and your body to make sure that you're getting all your nutrients and all the fiber from this food, it multiplies your good bacteria in your large intestine, which improves your gut health without spiking your blood sugar. It's just complex carb, put simply, is just long chain, um, more complicated carbohydrates that are better for you than simple carbohydrates that are just going to give you like a blood sugar spike. Some examples are like oats or pita. You can if you have any more questions, if you want a more detailed answer, if you have anything you want me to get to personally, I have this link here for you that you can wait, hold on, then you can ask questions on. Mm, and I will get back to you via email. Okay. Think any questions, use the link that I have shared in the chat box. And if you don't want to get questions, if you want to like talk to me personally, you can message me on my Instagram or you can send an email. My email is on the screen. Okay, thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you, and you can scan the QR on the screen to get any offers at my clinic.